My friends, I cannot wait for this guy. It's a huge unknown, but I think this could end up being one of the hits of the year, the biggest surprise, and my friends at Nintendo, do not let me down. Don't do it, because the hype is so real right now, everybody. As we wait the last few days for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I've got my great friend and editor Gabe here to dish on this Switch cartridge coming our way. Gabe, so many games we know so much about. I feel like Kirby is just lurking right now.
Kirby's sucking up anyone that's willing to say too much about him. He wants to be mysterious, but Zach, you know what'll get you excited? A good demo and a good review. And Kirby has had both at this point.
Absolutely. A fantastic early release demo that teased us at how this Mario 3D World plus Kirby adventure combines, right? It's the first time Kirby is foraying into true 3D, and it seems like it is going to be just so creative, so stellar. Maybe not that challenging, but with a lot of fun content. And then today, we find out that Edge Magazine drops an 8 out of 10. And with that, I officially said, okay, if this turns bad, I'm gonna be pissed. Because every sign is pointing to this being like, not only a great game, but a surprise. And I feel like in an era where trailers show like all the Spider-Man and trailers show the final bosses, like it's about time we have something that could really impress and wow us.
Before someone else corrects you, I will correct you. In the trailers leading up to No Way Home, all Spider-Man were not shown.
New trailers, though.
Oh, sure.
Trailers.
Well, at this point, everyone's seen it.
Trailers.
Yeah, made over $1 billion. Everyone's seen it.
Still.
But yeah, that's the thing that's most exciting for me about Kirby. Other than the fact that it is 3D-ified and more akin to Mario 3D World, something we've wanted for a very long time. And now we got it. And at first, trepidations didn't exist, right? Because Kirby, we can admit that it skews younger, right? But that demo was so darn fun, dude. Super fun. My wife doesn't, I could say wife. That's the first time I ever say wife on video.
Woo!
My
Congrats, man.
Thank you, Zach. My wife doesn't traditionally play games, but we were able to play the demo a little bit together, and she had a lot of fun. So, hey.
Yeah, and that's just the first layer, right? And if I go back to Mario 3D World and I check out the first layer, the first level was introducing you to Cat Mario, and it's very basic, right? It's like your green grass, yellow color splash, Goomba infested land. Kirby always kind of feels like it's at that place, right? We were looking at how long to beat, and we saw that Kirby games in the past are about 4 to 5 hours long. Like that's just where they're at. And they've been simplistic, but fun affairs, inviting and welcoming. Does this game have more layers to its cake? And the 8 from Edge tells me yes, because I don't think Edge plays around. Edge isn't giving out like brownie points for being a kid's game, right? That's not what they're doing. So I am just really now like it's up to here. If this game can bring in, the idea of evolutionary abilities, right? Because you can take Kirby's copy abilities and you can take them to another level. You can use blueprints and currency to upgrade them. If they can take the recently revealed Treasure Road, which is this challenge mode that is gonna have you using said copy abilities to complete what remind me of like, do you remember the levels in Mario Sunshine where you get transported to like a very skill-based like a area, like Shadow Mario would come to, and he'd take away your flood and you would then have to do that. Yeah. That's what they remind me of. I don't think they'll be as,
I was gonna say, they're not gonna be that hard.
Skill-based. But the fact that they are like saying, hey, we've got some challenging stuff, and the fact they're saying, hey, there's more here that we haven't shown yet, like that is why I think this one could really just come and sucker punch us and be like, wow, Nintendo has been working hard at not just the next Kirby, but the next big Nintendo game.
Say what you will about Nintendo Switch itself and its lack of power, but Nintendo has taken this entire generation to completely level up. You're speaking about leveling up their franchises in many ways, right? You see Breath of the Wild has now become the poster child for having influence on other games' designs, even though it's made for what is just by all means inferior software. And we saw it happen time and time again with Mario and pretty much every major franchise that Nintendo has now put on Switch. It's killing it in one form or another. 2D Metroid even found a way to just reach that next level, and it feels like that's what Kirby's about to do.
Yeah, and how much they're willing to stretch, right? We saw like Pokemon Legends Arceus stretch Pokemon, and if this can stretch Kirby, do you think that Kirby, traditionally a game that I feel sits in sort of Nintendo's maybe second or third tier, this Kirby I think has a chance to reach the first tier, and I want to hear if you feel like that's possible after hearing the 8 out of 10 and playing the demo.
I need more. out of like the entire game. I want to see just how far they go, because the surface that has been scratched with the demo, I'm there, dude. Like I really freaking hope so. I would have never even thought that it was possible. But you mentioned this on GMM this morning. Check it out if you guys haven't already done so. That Edge doesn't just hand out high review scores willy-nilly. They are regarded as one of the more reserved outlets. They really value their high review scores. And Kirby getting it when Tunic, again, GMN plug, getting that score. And I love Tunic. It's probably my favorite game of the year so far. It's not the best game.
Elden Ring.
I won't say it's better than Elden Ring or anything, but it's my favorite because it's a Zelda game, right?
Right.
So all that just ties back to Edge giving this an 8, exact same score as Tunic. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited, Zachary.
There's 3 things that I think can really help push this, right? And 3 things that Nintendo has now shown us. One is that ability to sort of RPG style level up Kirby. That's something that I find very tantalizing, and I hope it mixes up the gameplay. And I hope that as you progress, like those stronger abilities are needed to kind of duke it out with the enemies and levels that you face as you get towards the end of the game. 2, that Treasure Road stuff, right? I love the idea of, okay, like we are going to tip our hat to challenge and we are going to put some difficult-ish things in here. It shows that they get what fans want, right? Not just your cookie cutter Kirby. And then 3, it's the world that they've chosen here, right? We see Kirby like mixing kind of dreamland aesthetics with real world. It's very reminiscent of New Donk City. And I think that kind of like more gritty look sort of can lean into this being a bigger, more locked in Kirby experience that can last in terms of fans picking this as one of their top Switch games. I mean, Star Allies is cute and they did improve that post-launch, but I don't think anybody's picking Star Allies as like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Star Allies. But to me, there's a chance that Kirby could move up there with this game.
You mentioned gritty and Kirby, and I instantly just in my head started making the Batman style Kirby trailer in my head.
Yeah.
Right, with all the dark colors and stuff.
Eyeliner.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm excited for, and we didn't get to really experience it in the demo, is the town. All the Waddle Dees that you find seem to have some purpose, and you mentioned the RPG elements being there and everything, but I want to see exactly how that goes. That's one of the things that I'm most curious about for sure.
Right, and how does it control? Is it worth getting 100%? That was one of the ways that Mario 3D World just kept extending itself, right? And I hope that, look, $60 in 2022 can get you Elden Ring. That's like a game that feels like it goes on forever. $60 needs to give you more, I think, than a 4.5-hour Kirby game. And I think that really, like, no matter how good it is, no matter how cute it is, no matter how clever and creative, I think we need a 7-8 hour Kirby game to feel like, hey, that $60 was worth it, and to feel that all this hype is going to pay off.
Yeah, but finding all those collectibles and what was it, the blue, is it a blue star or something that?
Yeah, there was people who were looking at like different coin colors.
Yeah,
and trying
so
to
there's some stuff that's
yeah.
supposed to be like extra rare, and I feel like that's a way that Nintendo can pad out the length for those that want it. But I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority. But if Kirby can get it, I'm gonna set a low bar here, Zach.
All right,
8 hours. If I can get 8 hours,
is good.
I'm good.
8 is pretty good,
yeah.
And it would be interesting, like if the makers of Kirby, if they can generate the same kind of like aha moments that the Mario team has made. Because if you look at like Galaxy, why that's so beloved is there's so many like one-offs. They're like, wow, this level is just brilliant. And then 3D World kind of built upon that and said, hey, we can do all these different kinds of levels jammed together. We don't have to have a whole lot of continuity, but we can be imaginative. And if Nintendo has HAL being as imaginative as the Mario team, that bodes super well, not only for Forgotten Land, but for the future, because as we see, Mario, isn't coming out every year. And if there can be more games of this caliber, like Nintendo's catalog is already so strong. I don't know what we do if we enter the next generation. We're like, look, Zelda, Splatoon, Mario, Kirby, like all of them are so tough. It just makes this system, this catalog, and Nintendo as a whole so much better.
Yeah, I never felt like I could be let down by a Kirby game just because that reverence just wasn't there for me. But
right.
now, like,
Same.
Now that my expectations are a little bit higher for this, I'm like, oh man, I really hope that this is cool. And I have faith in them that they will, because Nintendo seems to have made it a mission to make every franchise a huge hit, bigger than any hit they've ever had before. And with Kirby, they keep putting out these games, right? We were looking at the website, how long to beat, just going through the various lengths of the games. And there's so many Kirby games. There's not that many games of pretty much any other franchise. Can you think of something that has as many games as this? Because they have spin-offs, they have the fighting games. Like,
right.
You called it like a B or C tier franchise for them, but they pump out more Kirby than anything else.
They are pushing Kirby. It's like Pokemon and Kirby, right? Yeah. And given that this is the 30th anniversary, there's talks that there could be even more Kirby this year beyond Forgotten Land. So I don't know. This is either a coming out party or the big letdown of the year. I mean, to me, it's like Zelda getting delayed and then Kirby the Forgotten Land are the two opportunities for Nintendo to really bum us out. And most games, like, it's like you said, like, okay, hey, we kind of know what Splatoon is. We kind of know what Bayonetta is. We kind of know what Nintendo Switch Sports is. And you either like it or you don't, and that's fine. But Kirby, I feel like, has everybody a little bit on edge. And Edge says 8, so maybe that on edge isn't really necessary, but we're just waiting. And we're so close, and I cannot wait to find out. Nintendo, do not let us down. Let us know in the comments down below if you are pumped for Kirby.
I can't let you get away with this, Zach. You're talking about Nintendo letting us down. I'm not gonna let you let us down. You got to show us the full shirt. Gosh. Stand up a little bit, please.
Oh, okay.
Because all we see is, oh, there you go. Look at that. How amazing is that, guys? I've never seen that shirt in my life. Cutest Kirby shirt ever. I don't see a lot of Kirby shirts, but there you go.
Kirby's sucking up the competition, and hopefully he does so later this week. Thanks a lot, Gabe. And thanks everybody for watching. Let us know in the comments down below if you are pumped or if you're just kind of writing this one off and don't think it's going to deliver. I really hope it does. And until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Gabe, we appreciate you being here. Go and edit that video now so everyone can watch it. And until next time, SwitchForce out.